And I'm here for it. I'm here for them. I'm here for the different dialogues, the different conversations that we're having about it, because I want to go deeper and talk about exactly what we're seeing. And honestly, looking at that post, I'm going to say from my own perspective and what I know, they're both wrong. And I'm going to tell you why they're both wrong. But hello, darling Dale. Good morning. Good morning, Desert Goddess. Good morning, Amina. Good morning, Seblay. Good morning, Undercover Queen 12. Good morning. I am Paradox. Good morning, Nappy Susie. Good morning. Good morning. Well, like I said, I didn't realize that that video would get so much attention. It already has. It went viral on Facebook. I absolutely know the situation between the couples and what's going on there. But my intention when I posted it was for you to see how men play in your face. That's what I want you to see from that post. Now, yes, are there other layers to it? Yes, they are. We're going to talk about those layers in this conversation. But I wanted women to see how men tell you very early on that they don't care. That's what I wanted you to see from that post. And I do see a lot of good information coming in, and people are, chiming in to what they believe is going on and what they think should be done. And I love that for us. I love that for the Pedestal Wife Society in this community, because it gives us the opportunity to talk about those layers, because there's layers to this conversation that I wasn't going to address, because my intention was to focus in on vetting. I wanted you to realize a lot of women think that I didn't know he didn't feel like, I didn't know he didn't like me. I didn't know he didn't care about me. I wanted you to see very early on that men tell on themselves, and the sign was in that post. But there's layers to the conversation that we can talk about. Let's talk about the fact that she, the woman that's being talked about in this post, she obviously showed him that her standard of living would like a 2003 Nissan Altima with 163 miles on it. So her standard of living. So he looked at her and he determined her standard of living, she'll be happy with that 2003 because she doesn't have a foundation. So that's absolutely correct. I saw those comments on the video that she doesn't have anything for herself, and she hasn't created a foundation for herself. And a lot of times when I talk about having that foundation, a lot of women push back because we have this narrative that women should be broke to be loved. And since you believe that women should be broke to be loved, you don't believe in having a foundation. But see, her standard of living absolutely relayed to him that he could decide where her standard of living was going to be. That he can give her a 2003 Nissan Altima. But is he wrong? Absolutely. Because he isn't serious about her. And that was obvious. Would I leave him? In my own personal opinion, I wouldn't leave him. You know why? Because I would have looked at, that would have woke me up. That would have woke me up that he saw that my standards were so freaking low that he can actually get away with giving me a 2003 Nissan Altima with 163K miles. Now, some of y'all don't know anything about cars, and that was obvious in the conversation that was being had. That car is worth $600, baby. One of the things my husband has taught me over the years is about cars and the value of cars. And that car is worth about $600. So the trading value is nothing. It's not worth anything, okay? So trade it in, you can't do that. But she could have looked at it as an opportunity to say and wake up and say, okay, so how could he look at me and only see a 2003 Nissan Altima? This should have been a wake-up call for her to use what he could give her as a foundation to build something for herself. So I totally agree that she shouldn't have broke up with him. She should have woke up and realized this is my opportunity to build a foundation for myself and use what he's giving me to make something for myself so I can raise my standard of living and be in proximity and meet men who actually can be serious about me. Because I'm going to say it over and over again, that men with resources, they look for women that have resources, a foundation. These women are actually reflecting back their standards of living. It's just like me. If I'm a woman and I own my own properties and I'm just jet setting across the world, how dare a man could ever come and just bring me flowers? He's got to step up his game because my standard of living is already top tier. So either he's going to bring me things that are top tier or he's not even going to get my attention. And men understand by looking at you and your standard of living, what they can give you. So he realized her standard of living was 2003 Nissan Altima. So they're both wrong. And she shouldn't have left him. She should have woke up and realized this was an opportunity to build my life in a way that my standard of living can reflect. I like high value, top tier men. And they have already been together a year. And see, the one thing about me, y'all don't realize I'm very thorough when I go and pull these posts or videos, because we have too many people that try to go viral with skits that I have to do my due diligence to see, is it a skit? Is it real life? Where they're coming from? What's the status of the couples? And I do that. And I was right on the money when I said that he didn't care anything about her, because one of the next posts was he didn't think that she deserved that 2023 unless she had 0 miles on her. So that type of thinking let me know that he was never serious about her in the first place. So if she stayed with him, she definitely wouldn't have been going anywhere with him. This is not a love match, y'all. This would have just been an opportunity to build a foundation, because he was helping her and willing to like, y'all have to realize some men are going to be ways to build a foundation, and then some men are going to be ways to move up in economic status. Y'all have to realize what each man brings to you. Either he's going to bring friendships, connections. He's going to bring a way for me to learn more so I can build my own standard of living. Or, oh, he's going to bring a way for me to actually learn more about me and the vet. Or y'all have to realize everything in a love connection. This is not one of them. And you have to be willing to use what you have in front of you. So what she should have done, taken the car, not broken up with him, woken up and realizing, okay, see, I already know he's not serious about me. So let me start building my own foundation. Let me start getting in spaces where I can surpass him and get better quality men. Let me start doing the inner work and the work on myself so that I can have better in life. This is what she should have done. And then she should have let him go once she realized he had served his purpose. Some of you all are going to say, well, bro, that's so mean and cruel. Well, he's using her to serve his purpose. He's using her to serve the purpose that she has for him in his life. He was not seeing her as a serious contended for a wife, y'all. And it was obvious in the information I got in the background, because I do my work. I do my due diligence. I try to make sure I know when we're dealing with the skit, or if we're dealing with a couple that has issues. I want to know the background. I don't just post anything because I know how things have nuances and layers to it. And I don't like to misrepresent people. I don't like to say, hey, he's a horrible person, or hey, she's a horrible person. And I'm not saying they're horrible people either. I'm just saying the girl is clueless. She doesn't know how to date. And I'm going to say he definitely is realizing that she is clueless, and he's taking advantage of her being clueless. And you have to actually realize that every relationship is not going to be this grand love designs. And I know some of you all have this Cinderella mindset where you think everyone is going to move in an authentic way. And that's not the way life works. We're human. And when we look at people, we always see if there's some type of things that we can get from that person, whether it is love, whether it is connection, where it is moving up in life, where it is, even transactional. So this is what I would say. I'm not saying he's wrong or she's wrong. I believe both of them play a part in this. Both of them play a part in this. Now, let me look and see what everybody's saying, and then we're going to talk a little bit more, because I don't have a lot of time. I have a luncheon that I got to go to. Well, that's coming to my house, actually, that I got to finish getting ready for. Y'all know I don't come on Saturday, and there's a reason for that. Okay, so I'm trying to get to the first comment. Okay. Can I send you a video of a girl who says she wants to help her boyfriend by paying most of the bills? I want you to comment on it, LOL. Send it. Y'all know y'all send me the videos and the content, because it helps me, since I'm the only one that runs everything right now until I get another assistant. I'm the only one that runs everything. So that's the reason why things have kind of slowed down, because I'm trying to balance life and making sure that this page continues to grow and evolve and have content that's going to be helpful. If you don't know, you should know, I post content that I teach from. There's always a lesson in the content that I post. For real, it started with her accepting to take the bus while in a relationship with a man that's riding at 23. Absolutely. And the thing is, he decided her standard of living because she had none. And I'm telling every woman that's in this live stream, create your own standard of living. Figure out what that looks like. So when you meet men, they either have to come with the equivalent or better. Men know what they can give you based off your standard of living. So he looked at her standard of living. He said she can ride the bus. He looked at her standard of living. He said she can drive my car sometime. He looked at her standard of living and he gave her a 2003 Nissan Altima that's worth about $600, which tells you everything you need to know. When a man is into you and he sees a wife, he sees a good thing, and also he's going to make sure she has equal or better to the car that she drives. Most wives who are loved on, they have the better car than the husband. He would have never let her take the bus. Absolutely. So smart, very smart and strategic. I love it. Is it okay to be with somebody if you know you're not going to last long term? Yes, it is okay. Just don't lead them on. Like, I'm not about the lies and manipulation. If I know that it's not going to be long term, I'm not going to give them that indicator or lie to them or say anything like, I love you. I'm never going to have those words cross my lips because I don't play with people's feelings or emotions. You can die doing that. You can die messing with people's emotions. So I'm not going to play with his emotions, but I'm going to be very honest and upfront that I'm not looking for anything. I don't want anything serious. And I think women need to know that and realize that every man that comes in their life, he is not a ultimate love connection. Sometimes he is the next level. He is the way for you to meet the next connection, or he is the way for you to get some new information. He may be your teacher and you may be the student. But you have to realize people come into your life and they're not all coming for the same thing. Especially, it's similar with men. Men think the same way in this matter. They realize everyone that's coming in their life is not a love connection. He had 5 cars and he caused me to drop in places. I deserved it. How would you qualify someone who saw your standard of loving but continuously buy and offer things below your standards of living? He's trying to train you, sis. I'm just going to tell you. If he sees your standard of living, he sees your Chanel, and then he's trying to give you all, not luxury product. He sees you all luxury. You have this grand life, and he's trying to offer you McDonald's. He's trying to lower your standard of living so that you will accept what he wants to give you. Because men understand that women will deceive themselves to keep the love going. Someone will be like, oh, well, that's all he can afford. That's all he can do. I have seen broke men go out here and go get it to get the women that they love something. I've seen broke men go work 3 jobs in order to get a woman a house because he loves her that much. So you have to realize when a man is trying to lower your standards, it is because he sees that he knows how women operate. He knows that if he can get you to accept the lowering of your standards, this is where he'll have you in the palm of his hand. So be very careful about a man trying to lower your standard of living. Because the standard of living is the one that you created, not the one he did for you. Girl that feels so disrespectful, the bitterness would have been so real. How do you do that without negative feelings? Learning how to balance out your logical thinking with the emotional. Because we should not be one-sided. We should be able to have our emotions, feel them fully, and then also step back and look at it from a logical perspective. So you have to balance that out. That's the reason why I don't preach being one-sided. I don't preach just being in your, lately I've been talking about being sovereign, which means being an independent thinker, but also having the beauty of intuition and being able to use those in order to progress in life. So you have to not be one-sided. I think a lot of women react with their emotional body, and their reactions is very emotional. So they don't see they don't see the logic behind things. And so you have to balance it out. That's going to take inner work. That's not something I can say, oh, this is what you're going to do. Inner work is the way you're going to get there. You're right. Men knows what they can get from relationships. They know what women can help them build and level up. Women be as strategic too. Absolutely. Especially if you found out about his intentions through his actions. I could be Stevie Wonder and still see his intentions from his actions without even knowing the background. Before I started digging deeper into the background, I knew he didn't care about her and he wasn't serious about her. So immediately I started going deeper and started looking at the whole situation, and I realized he's one of those. He doesn't think that the woman deserves more because he feels like her body count is too high. Haven't we heard that before? So she should realize that and woke up and realize, okay, my standard of living isn't getting me what I want. Most women think the pretty is going to be enough. And I keep telling women over and over, your pretty isn't enough. Because your pretty is going to attract men, of course, but your pretty doesn't relay your standards. Your standards of living relay your standards. How are you living? How are you living? How are you making your money? How are you showing up in the world? How are you present? How are you engaged? This shows your standards. And this is what he's going to look at overall. Yes, you can bring him in with your pretty.